Hey guys, and welcome to Love. It's your girl Angie. I am the founder of Love Inspiry LLC, where our mission is to build more powerful, more transparent, and more durable relationships. And we do that through helping couples overcome their relationship adversity, as well as preparing individuals to enter healthy relationships. Today's video is what happens when you rush a relationship, when you're moving too fast. If you think about it, when you're walking down the street, you're walking too fast and you might trip, stumble, fall, and hurt yourself. The same thing happens in your relationship if you rush it. You will trip, fall, and you will only hurt yourself in return. So stick around and let's talk love and moving too fast in your relationship. First, we're going to get started and we're going to talk about some reasons why individuals rush relationships. And then we're going to talk about what happens when you rush the relationship, why you should slow down. Take a deep breath, relax, enjoy the relationship, nurture the relationship, and then just go all in. So let's get started. Reason number one why people rush relationships is because they have had children, okay? So people tend to force relationships for the children's sake. And this is really not helpful for the child because they are seeing dysfunction. And then you have the thing where what's gonna happen when this child grows up and gets old and they leave the nest? All you have left is this relationship that you built off of a child or off the children, the foundation were the children, instead of working on you guys internally as a couple. So this is the ultimate no-no to rush a relationship over children. The second reason why individuals rush a relationship is because their friends are doing it. Have we ever heard of the saying, I know back in the day when your mama and daddy was talking to you and they were telling you, if your friends jumped off a bridge, would you go jump off a bridge with them? Yes, kind of the same concept here, but kind of corny in adulthood. Listen, you can't do things because of what other people are doing. Like I always say, you don't know what this person is doing to keep that relationship, nor what they did to get that relationship. So only focus on you and the person that you are with. Move at your own pace, because when you move at your own pace, you're moving at a pace that's going to sustain you. Remember, you're not in these other people's relationships. You're going to be in your own. So you have to move at your own pace. Reason number three why people rush relationships is because their clock is ticking. This is more specifically for women, when you get up in age and you're not married and you haven't had any kids. All you want to do is, some people are picky and then some people are just way too lenient. And I'm talking more about the lenient ones where you just jump into any relationship, no matter who it is with. You don't care how you're being treated, just for the sake of saying you're in a relationship. This is not healthy. Not healthy at all. I think I had posted some time ago on Facebook about how people fear to be lonely so much that they'll just get into bed with anybody and make anybody their mate when they're not even compatible with this person, just to say that they're in the relationship, just to have children, just to be in this partnership. Don't do that. Reason number four why people rush relationships is for appearance purposes, right? So we have this thing where we want to put on a good impression. We want to show people that we are capable of loving and we're capable of being in relationships. And what happens when you're focusing on your impression that you're trying to give? You're not doing the internal work in your relationship. Your relationship is all jacked up and it's all messed up and it's not built on anything, because what you're concerned about is what people are seeing as opposed to what you and your partner are seeing, the people that actually matter. And so I want to encourage people, don't get into a relationship just because somebody says that you need to be in one. I know people that have gotten married because they said, because people told them that they need to be married. No. If you're not ready to commit 100, if you're not ready to be loyal, if you're not ready to love and pour into the relationship, just stay single. Do you, baby, do you. Reason number five why individuals jump into relationships is because they think it will secure the bag. Secure the person. No, a relationship is not security, okay? Even when you jump into a marriage very quickly, that's not security either. You want to create safety and security in factors that matter, things that matter. Just having the title of a relationship and the actions don't match that title, the relationship legit means nothing, guys. Listen, you cannot secure who doesn't want to be secured. You cannot lock down who does not want to be locked down. A relationship is just, in this particular instance, is just a title. You want more than a title. You want that action behind that title. And the last reason I'm going to touch on, reason number 6 why people rush relationships, is they think that it's going to make them internally happy. Couldn't be farther from the truth. A relationship should not make you happy. And if your relationship is the sole reason why you're happy, you're bound for trouble, because what happens when you lose this person, or if you lose this person, you're building, your whole life is being centered and being built around this one person. Don't build your happiness on a relationship or one person. Do that self-work to be internally happy and free within yourself, and love on yourself before you love on somebody else. When you're internally happy, guess what happens? You can pour into that relationship better. You can love that person better, and your relationship will reap the benefits from that. I just want to say that it is not okay to rush a relationship, and I'm going to go over 3 important stages that you miss when you decide to rush your relationship. The first stage you miss is the stage I like to call the initiation stage. So this is the stage where you court, or like the younger people say, you date. That's what the old people call it, courting. You court, you date. You get to know what type of person you're dealing with. You get to learn their relationship ethics. This is where you build your friendship. And I want to talk about relationship ethics. So in this initiation stage, you find if loyalty is important to them, if you find trust, if honesty is significant to them, what type of person they are, their integrity, their values. This is where you figure all that stuff out. And when you miss this stage, you can end up with a disloyal person. And if you rush your relationship, you can end up with a person that it might lie to you, might deceive you, might cheat you, because you've decided to just jump over this initiation stage into a relationship, not really getting to know the rooty-tooty of this person, the nitty-gritty of this person, their why they do the things they do, why they think the way that they think. And I want to say a bold statement: the best marriages started with friendship first. Friendship is what is going to keep you the duration of your relationship on days where you're just don't like each other, or on days where, your arguments seem like they're elevating at they're just out of this world. Friendship ultimately makes your marriage a whole lot easier. Not saying that it's easy, but it does make it easier to get over those humps. And friendship is one of those things that I built in my foundation with my husband, as he said on our last week's video, about how we've known each other all our lives, but he took 6 months, I think 7 months, to ask me to be his girlfriend, because he wanted to build that friendship outside of where we were seeing each other in church. And that's why we were able to get through those rough patches of immaturity and being financially bound and sleeping in motels and things of that sort, because we took the time to really hone in on, our connection and our friendship. And that leads me into the second stage of creation. When you rush your relationship, you miss creating that bond, building that connection, building that bond, creating that connection. Those are very, very, very important for longevity in your relationship. I'm trying to tell you, listen to me when I tell you, you have to have a bond. You have to have a connection. It's the only thing that is going to sustain you, like I said, when the rough times get, and they will come. If you don't have a connection, your connection is like glue. You go back to preschool where you glue stuff together. It sticks together. That is what's going to stick you together, bond you for life. That connection that you create, because we create connections. And it's all about having a quality relationship. And I'm going to tell you the 3 things that you need to have a quality relationship. I need you guys to get down with CPC. Well, first I need you to get down with G-O-D. And I'm down with G-O-D. And I'm with G-O-D. And you know me. But get down with CPC right after that. And that is communication, patience, and compassion. You have to have effective communication for a quality relationship, whether you're communicating, being open about your past, whether you are being transparent about your whereabouts, whether you are sharing internal things that you haven't shared with somebody else. You have to be intentional about your communication and making sure that it's honest, open, and it's 2-way. You know, you want to have that conversation. Talk to me, I talk to you. We'll talk it out together. Then patience. Listen. Patience is really right after communication for one of the most important things to have in a relationship, because this person is so different from you. They're not going to think like you think. They're not going to act like you act. So you have to have patience and willingness to work with them, grow with them, cultivate, foster, all these things, educate. And that's where we lack patience, because we want somebody, like I always say, all put together. You know, we think we're all put together. I got it going on. So I want somebody like that too. No, you're not all put together, and neither is the person that God has for you. Ain't nobody put together. Excuse my broken English, but I want you to hear me when I say it. Ain't nobody put together 100%. We're all a work in progress. None of us are perfect. None of us will ever be perfect until we go on to glory. So you have to have that patience. And then compassion. Compassion is that understanding, sympathy, being able to place yourself in this person's shoes. You know, my husband talked about it on Sunday's episode, as far as, you know, when his mother passed away. You know, I had to have compassion, although I couldn't understand 110% what he was going through, because my mother is still alive. I was able to have compassion on him and understand, you know, that he needs me just a little bit more than he will need me any other given day. And so get down with CPC right after GOD, guys. The 3rd stage you miss is the learning stage. And this is where you have trial and error, where you make mistakes, you have infractions. I'm talking about the small things, and you learn and you grow from them. You know, a lot of people don't think you should, I wholeheartedly believe in fallouts. Because fallouts is what strengthens your relationship, right? You have to have that trial stage of, we're having these differences, we may take a break, we may get back together. It's okay to go through that period of, just because you're breaking up or you have broken up doesn't necessarily mean that you are not meant to be. And it doesn't mean that your relationship is toxic either. It's just a trial and error period where you're getting acclimated with one another. You're trying to understand, this person's moves, how they maneuver and why they maneuver the way that they maneuver. When you move too fast in this, and you skip over this trial and error period, you're more prone to break up when you hit the trials and never get back together, because you haven't experienced little tidbits and little arguments and things like that strengthen you, like I said, that bring you together, that foster conflict management. How can we get through this, as opposed to just being done with the situation? And that's what happens when you miss this stage and you rush your relationship, is you don't know what the heck is hitting you, because you haven't had these little bouts of disagreements, learned from them, applied, what makes this person tick and why this makes that person tick. So you have to have those little trial and error periods, and you miss that, like I said, when you jump into a relationship without doing that pre-work. Listen, don't be so quick to move so fast in your relationship. Take that time to build. I know people think that, you know, you don't have a lot of time, you know, but what's meant to be is always going to be. So take that time to initiate, to create, and to educate, which, you know, is learning each other. And just remember that friendship will make your relationship enjoyable when those tough times hits. On days where, you know, I think about when my husband and I were sitting up in the house with no cable and no money to go anywhere. You know, that friendship is what kept us connected. Your bond, it will strengthen your relationship. When those times are, you know, rough, when those times, when on days where you feel like giving up, that glue, that's what's going to stick you guys together, keep you guys together. Don't get that cheap glue either. And learning each other will help you establish and respect boundaries, your personal boundaries and your relationship boundaries. So guys, thank you all for sticking it out with me with this video. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe and also share it with a friend. Somebody may need to hear this. Don't move so quickly. You miss some really crucial times that you need for longevity. So I'll see you all this Sunday in the Breakover series on episode 3, and then next Wednesday back on our regularly scheduled YouTube program. Have a blessed day.